I swear to God, I will shoot you straight in the face. Let blood avenge blood. Welcome to Legends of Gotham, where we talk about Fox's hit series Gotham, set in the world of Batman. I'm Bill Meeks.
And I'm Anne-Marie DeSimone.
And we are back for another Gotham-tabulous...
Gotham!
Gotham-tabulous. How are you doing tonight, Anne?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing fantastical.
Fantabular?
Fantabulesque?
Fantabulish.
Yeah. Fantabulicious is what I say. But we're coming to you as we normally do Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. EST at twitch.tv/universebox with our lovely chatters. Right now we have Lone Wolf Pack and Talking to We, a.k.a. Win, in there. But I'm sure some more people will filter in as we go through. So remember, every week, Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. EST, go to twitch.tv/universebox to catch us live.
Except for next week when we're going to be recording on Wednesday. Since it's a 2-hour episode season finale thing, we'd like to give ourselves a little more time to ingest it, process, spit it back out into a doc before we talk about it with you lovely people.
That might not be the worst idea in the world. And that'll give you guys more time to get feedback in too, which will be awesome. Mm-hmm. So yeah, next week it'll be Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. EST.
Oh, and that'll be our, series finale.
Oh, yeah, our series finale of Legends of Gotham. Gotham will continue on.
Gotham will keep going. Legends of Gotham will be going the way of the dinosaur.
As we've mentioned several times.
I'm just saying, so that people know that they need to get their booties here next Wednesday.
Definitely. I would also suggest, though, not unsubscribing from the feed, because there may be some short-form Gotham reviews coming your way in the fall on YouTube, and I'll probably put them out on the feed, too, if that happens.
For sure.
So let's see. Oh, over in the chat room, Lone Wolf Pack asks, are any of you going to live chat during the finale, or is that a thing people can do? I know you can tweet live. We do the live tweeting.
We do the live tweeting. We do not do the live chatting because then we get very distracted.
Yeah, very, very distracted.
We get distracted tweeting sometimes. Even
but if you want to live tweet with us over at Legends of Gotham, we'd love that.
Absolutely.
But you know what? We've spent the past 27 minutes talking about the finale. It's next week. We have a whole episode to discuss this weekend, Marie. So why don't you go ahead and hit us up with the riddling, rhyming episode summary?
Will Bruce and his madness after killing the... Let me try that again. Will Bruce end his madness after killing the court? Getting revenge leaves him feeling short. Will Lee's love for Jim lead to his death? He rethinks the breakup while grasping for breath. Does Penguin have soldiers? Not anymore. Will Fish conscript him, or is she still sore? Is Union Station the new madness canteen? Citizens drink up the virus from the Pretty Hate Machine.
Pretty Hate Machine. Emery, what'd you think?
It was good.
It was good?
It was good. It was a little less gluey than the last couple episodes, but still kind of gluey.
Yeah, we were talking about that right before we started recording, that it just, it felt like...
We're still just, building up, and shouldn't we be there by now?
I mean, there was a really good...
we did put Jim in a box.
The more serialized... you're Jim in a box. But the more serialized nature of the storytelling in Gotham the past couple of years, we expect all these big things to happen, but for a one-off episode, I thought, I really enjoyed the plot line, the basic, Lee capturing Jim and, them trying to figure it out and everything. But yeah, a little gluey.
A little
gluey, but not too
but not too moiky.
But not too gluey. By the way, Cost Commotion, Shalane Mooney from Cost Commotion is over in the chat room.
Girl.
Hello. Okay, but I guess, we'll talk a lot more about all the details of this episode as we move forward, but which I'm going to do right now. And I'm going to talk about my first point, which is entitled Tainted Love. Doom, 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 doom. Tainted Love.
That was a bad singing from us.
I know I've got shot up by a virus, and I am digging out of my grave and going...
I'll keep doing this all night. We should stop now.
The
song now.
Tainted Love. I'm sorry. People didn't even get to see you clap on the video
they
version.
didn't. I was like, it's me. Whatever.
Okay, but Jim certainly has a type.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy biatch is his type.
Yeah, Lee confesses in this episode that her love for Jim came from a desire for danger in her life. Babs had a similar thing going on that eventually went nuclear after her exposure to the ogre. But Lee's plan to get Jim to infect himself, I thought was kind of interesting. She found this hidden darkness inside herself, this desire for danger inside herself, and she assumes that Jim has this hidden darkness inside himself too. I think old Jimmy G is going to defy the odds here, though.
Jimmy G.
But my prediction is that Jim is going to be the first victim of the virus to be revealed as a righteous man, a truly righteous man.
Okay.
He's going to be able to use the enhanced abilities that come with the virus to save Gotham once again, leaving Lee's plans in shambles and her in a jail cell because he doesn't have this hidden darkness. His darkness is all on the surface. If you wanted extreme dark Jim Gordon, you've been getting in the past 3 seasons.
Right.
And the rest of him is light and bright and happy and good and justice. And I think that's what's going to come through. I mean, even, in this episode, he immediately runs to Union Station to try and stop the Tetch bomb. But, I think, it's going to end up with Jim saving Gotham using these viral powers, the viral powers. And then, Lee's going to be kind of left out in the cold, and she's going to hate him even more because he proved her wrong.
Right.
That's kind of my thinking. But after he got injected with the virus, it got me to thinking, maybe this is going to lead him to become the iconic DC character that Ben McKenzie mentioned he'd be playing at Comic-Con last year that we've referenced the past couple weeks, actually.
Yeah.
So maybe he'll step in as Batman for an episode, or he could be the Grey Ghost, or maybe we're going to see that in this year's season finale.
Interesting.
Now that he has superpowers and whatnot.
Wahaha.
Okay, so anything over in the chat room, Anne-Marie?
Yes, you just took it off the screen though. Let's see. Bobby Hawk says, not totally righteous. He did toss a cop near the end of the episode, which is true, but I think he was just trying to get him out of the way so he could try and stop the bomb.
It was the greater good. It was the greater good.
It was for the greater good. That one cop ain't nothing.
Wynn says they put Lee in a soft cell.
Yeah.
Ba-dum-bum. Very nice. Very nice.
Lone Wolf Pack says Jim has kept himself in a metaphorical coffin since the first season. He's been doomed since the beginning. Thought this was a nice place for his story to go.
Definitely. Okay, so you wanted to talk a little. Okay,
you're just gonna sing all night, aren't you? More than usual.
No.
Okay, he's done now for sure. So
no.
I should have known better. So Villainous Lee. Okay, she is so much better of a character as a villain, and not just because she's evil. I know we mentioned this a little bit, I think it was last week, and many of the tweets going, she's so much more interesting. But here's the reasoning I find her much more interesting.
It's all about the eyes, those dark eyes.
It's called makeup. No, it's actually not actually about the eyes. Last season and earlier this season, I thought Lee Tompkins was starting to feel not just boring and not something I wanted to watch, but she felt very weak. She sort of weakened her own character. She started off kind of strong when her and Jim first started canoodling.
Yeah.
But then something switched. Once she started pointing out his faults, she just sort of became less of a person. And that's been annoying. So, and I don't like it, Lee. But now that she's taken the virus and is embracing the villain inside, Lee, she's carrying herself in a different manner. As you tend to do on the virus, you carry yourself a little different. But it's not only that it's evil.
This is your brain. This is your brain on the virus.
But she carries herself strong and confident. And she, walks with a purpose. Apparently is my thing. She just, while she's not acting in the best interest for Jim, because I am not at all buying the fact that it brought out her love for him because she threw him in a box and buried him 6 feet under with not enough air. It is in the best interest of the character because, I'm not inclined to look at my phone or yell at the TV when she's on screen as much last night. Last night I was intrigued. I was excited. I wanted to see what else happened with Lee Tompkins.
She had been the crazy ex-girlfriend. Now she's the crazy ex-girlfriend.
Right. Jim in the long line of crazy ex-girlfriends. However, I'm curious if she's going to survive long enough to get the cure. Because with Jim Gordon infected, we know that the cure is coming either next week or very early next season.
Because, Jim's not lighting up the bat signal, being all virus crazed, in the future. So he needs to be cured.
Jim has to be cured. But is her character going to make it that long? Now, Bill has mentioned in the past, to fill me in on all the Batman mythos, that Lee Tompkins and Bruce Wayne are supposedly kind of in cahoots. She's his, doctor for when Batman gets hurt, because Batman is just a human. He doesn't have the superpowers.
No, he's not virus infected.
He is not virus infected. So
sometimes venom infected, but that's a whole
different thing right now. But could this be the arc that connects Bruce and Lee? Perhaps it will be both of them coming out of their trance-like things, which gets them to start working together. Because I really think Bruce needs to lean on some more people, because it obviously the land of him and Alfred and Kat, who's now crazy.
Yeah,
in a good way.
I definitely like that, and I think there's more and more evidence that relationship is gonna kind of gel pretty soon. Because I think I mentioned last week about how they're both characters who are obsessed with revenge, and they've both found that they can't really get their revenge. Even when they get it, they don't really get it.
Right. They're not satisfied.
Yeah, so I think they will never be satisfied. But yeah, I think that's something that they're going to bond over that for sure.
Yeah, but I think that that would be a really great... This would be a really great reason for them to both come out and just be like, whoa. And somehow that all happens. I don't know. I'm not the writer.
Yeah.
I'm a writer, but not that writer. And I think that would be a great way to start and maybe not necessarily, boom, she's moving into the manor. But I think that would be a great way for them to start having a closer relationship. And, Alfred and Lee was always entertaining.
Definitely. Okay, let's see.
A lot of stuff happened in the chat room while I was talking.
Over in the chat room, Custom Motion Shalane asked, why do you think Jim took the virus? I think it was mainly just because he knew there was no other way to save Gotham. Then Lone Wolf Pack says, I really would have wished that Lee went evil for the sake of going evil, not to get back or get Jim back.
And I'm not convinced that it was to get Jim back. I think it was just to get revenge or something like that.
Yeah, I think that I think it was really more what the Hatter said to her.
Yeah.
last
very
week
much. Yeah.
That made her do that. That was probably at least a pretty strong motivation for her.
Right.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, stop in
the name of Alfred.
Is my next.
Did you
quote.
really make all of them songs?
I didn't, but what a happy coinky dink. No, stop in the name of Alfred. Alfred is taking a lot of official actions in his search for Bruce Wayne the past couple episodes. He interrogated / tortured Catherine and Hugo Strange. He pulled a gun on Lee when she broke into the GCPD this episode. He's going on all these ride-alongs with Harvey Bullock. And as Bullock says to Alfred in the episode, we're going to have to give you a badge or something. So I'm saying, please let this be foreshadowing.
This would be hilarious.
I would love to see Alfred join the GCPD in season 4, maybe.
But would we?
Maybe. I mean,
would that be good?
Well, I'm sure a burgeoning bat vigilante would find a man on the inside very, very useful.
He has been on the inside.
Yeah, but I'm saying
last week I'm not the police, I'm a butler.
I'm just saying though, it would probably be very useful to have someone, maybe two people, if Lucius is still working for the GCPD. That's true. People within the GCPD to help protect his vigilante action. So I think it would be really awesome. I also think that either Jim or Harvey are due for a bump up. So I think Alfred would make a really good partner for either Jim or Harvey in season 4.
Interesting.
So I'm really hoping that that's the case. Also, by the way, I thought Alfred hanging Hugo Strange off the edge of the building by his tie was very Batman-esque.
Oh, yeah.
Very Batman-esque.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it.
And the awful yell that he was doing. I'm like, is that really how you yell when you're being like leaned off a 20-story building? Because no, I'm like,
apparently. What's going on over in the chat room? Giggling about?
I was giggling. Hold on, let me get over to it. Lone Wolf Pack says Alfred becomes the new police commissioner and Lucius becomes the new butler since he's missing, because he's always missing.
He is. Well, he's off doing smart guy stuff.
And Bobby says Alfred should just be given special deputy status like Shaq or Elvis.
Alfred has always kind of reminded me of Elvis, like a British Elvis that didn't sing and hated peanut butter banana sandwiches.
How do you know he hates peanut butter banana sandwiches?
That's true.
You don't know that.
That's not been confirmed in
Don't
canon.
be that guy.
We know about shepherd's pie. That's about it.
He loves shepherd's pie.
He also loves Bruce.
Okay, so Bruce, I really want to be on the team. He's just playing, right? Like that. Bruce is just putting
That's
on the
my
front.
thought.
And I do think that, but then I think he might actually be under control of the shaman guy, and I guess Ra's al Ghul, since we got that little in the preview.
The demon's head.
The demon is that. See, I kind of missed all that. I think. I think that the needles and the smoke from wherever he was being held had a lot to do with that. I think. I mean, oh, hello, Rain. That the needles were a bit of like poison of some sort, not just like a general like hallucinogenic. I think it was maybe an older version of some sort of virus that they've tried to use before, but they use it in this capacity now because they see this is how it works. And so I think that because they did say that this is how all the Talons became so obedient.
Yeah.
They all went through this same process, which seriously, does this guy just sit around like doing this? There's a lot of Talons. Like they whacked like 8 people at once. Mom Princess, don't mind me.
No, I got the impression that, and I think this is the reason Bruce was so pissed at Alfred at the end of the episode, is that Bruce is completely playing them front to back, soup to nuts to get to the guy up top.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's why he hesitated to give the kill order with the Court of Owls.
I have more on that.
Then he never got the chance to push the button. I have a feeling he probably wouldn't have pushed the button if Alfred hadn't shown up. You know?
He didn't actually press the button.
No, he didn't. It was
never him that pressed it. Okay, let's see. When he comes out of the trance, I'm not really sure when that happens. When he does come out of this trance, because I'm on team, he's actually, being controlled a little. He's going to have such guilt for the destruction that happened while he was under. That is when he's going to move even further into his whole Batman-esque thing with the dark hero will rise, but it won't be how the court was thinking, which also would give more reason towards like the him and Lee association building.
Yeah.
However, the fact that he didn't actually give the order or push the button, I see what that messed things up, are the only pieces of the puzzle that make me question this theory and lean towards him acting. Because Bruce would never actually do something that would directly kill somebody. Like, he's backed off on that a few times.
Yeah.
Quite a few with, literally being face to face with the man who killed his parents and a gun in his hand, backed off. So, that's the only little bit that gets me. But I kind of think that him actually being controlled is almost more motivating or something. Like it's a more intense story.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because part of me is like, this is going to be a Penguin's umbrella kind of fake out thing. But by the same token, since Penguin's umbrella, like if Gotham's taught me anything, that a lot of times, if you think there's something dodgy going on, most likely it's exactly what's on the surface, but it's going to explode in a really big way.
Right.
So I could totally see your point that he actually is being controlled, and but it's going to backfire on them.
Right. It's obviously not going to end the way that they think it's going to end, but I do think he's being controlled.
Yeah, a bunch of people in the chat room agree with me, or could see the reading I have as far as him holding back and trying to get to the top, to the head of the demon. Let's see here, and then Bobby Hawk asked, why did the shaman try to use Bruce's emotions to egg him on? Well, he's just manipulative.
I think, he's just very much a manipulator, very much.
Yeah, but it's going to be interesting to see. It's like one of those things, though, and this is kind of what we were saying up at the top of the episode, that, that's a really interesting aspect of the story, but it was interesting in most of the same ways last week.
And the week before, yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't feel like there was enough progress, but I'm sure there's going to be more than enough progress next week to just go on and 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 on about for days. And we're going to go on and on and on about this episode in just a minute. But first, we want to take a little break just to let you guys know about our Patreon. Now, our Patreon, it's a way you can support what we do. Like we said, we are wrapping it up. But if you want to throw us a couple bucks on our way out the door,
buy me a bottle of $2 Chuck.
Leave us some cab fare on the dresser by going to patreon.com/universebox. And if you leave more than $5, you'll become a member of our $5 Star Patrons Club.
Which means we'll shout you out next week.
Our $5 Star Patrons for this week/month are Becca Baca, Harry Seidler, Angel, Bobby Hawk, Monica Jones, Other Anne Marie, Casa Commotion, Miss Thistlemoon, Sageworth a.k.a. Patty, Robert Cattler, Hope Mullinex, Jessica Gonzalez, and Patrick Cone. You guys are the awesomest. And if you want to be awesomest, go to patreon.com/universebox and leave us some cab fare on our dresser. Oh. And remember to think outside.
See, look, I try and be all on
Hey, I got there. Okay, we are going to get back to the main discussion in just 1 second, but first we're going to play a voicemail from Shalane. Take it away, Shalane.
Hi.
Hello, Bill and Anna Marie.
Hi.
This is Shalane Mooney, your favorite girl from Cause of Commotion.
Straight from MegaCon.
And last night's episode literally had me jumping off the couch. First of all, let's go over the obvious. My girl Fish is back, and as Butch would say, she always knows how to make an entrance. And last night was no exception. I even noticed Tabitha's face when Butch actually said that. She looked at him as if she was not exactly happy with that particular comment because he saw that look. But she saw that look in his eye. Anyway, also, I really think that Jim was going to take that virus, but apparently he did. So I'm wondering whether or not if he will use his brand new found power for good, or will he go and use it for bad, like what Lee was hoping that he would. And I'm surprised after all this, she still loves him. So will they get back together again? Who knows? Dr. Hugo Strange?
Let's talk about this for just a second. Do you think there's a future for Lee and Jim after she buried him alive and made him shoot himself up with a virus?
No! Like, on what planet? Is that an actual question?
In a relationship, could you forgive that?
No!
No, probably
I couldn't forget 97% of the things that have happened on Gotham. Know that.
One thing I was thinking about when he was buried was that her entire plan rested on the fact that Jim knew how to shoot himself up.
I mean, I think the way that this virus goes, you just get it in there somehow.
Yeah, he could have shot himself in the eye.
Apparently, he doesn't fly. And I think he was afraid he was about to find out the hard way. So anyway, I can go on and on. Lots of good moments in this episode. Look forward to listening to you guys tonight. I shall be listening. Bye.
Thank you very much. Make sure to check them out over at Casa Commotion. They do a lot of good Gotham-themed cosplay, getting more new members all the time.
They're awesome.
They're going to have an
Your
Alvarez
Jerome
soon.
is fantastic, by the way. I was stalking your MegaCon pictures.
They're going to have an Alvarez soon.
You need an Alvarez.
And over in the chat room, let's see. As far as will they get back together, Bobby Hawk says, yes, this is Gotham. And then Wolfpack says they were kissing in the promo. Maybe they're kinky like that. Ooh, I could totally see that.
I mean,
tainted love. Tainted love. Shoot yourself with the virus, Jim.
It's apparently a singing night.
Tabs and Babs are on the outs.
Oh, Tabs and Babs. Wah, wah, wah.
At first, when everyone showed up, I was a little worried that they weren't going to address this, but it was nice to see some references to Tabby and Butch sneaking around behind Barbara's back as far as her machinations with Ed.
Right.
A couple episodes back.
Yes.
You can tell that Tabby and Butch really don't like their diminished power position within the group either.
No.
So I feel like they're either going to be cut loose by Babs and Ed, or they're going to leave at the end of the season, leaving Babs and the Riddler to rule Gotham's underworld. But
you mean Ed?
Yeah. Or the Riddler.
You mean Ed?
Edward.
Edward.
But what will they do if they're not part of the Sirens Club and that whole business? I think it's pretty likely that Butch is going to try and join back up with Fish. I mean, because that look of admiration he had when she showed up.
How you doing, Fish?
Yeah, but
that was awesome.
Sadly, though, I don't think Tabby would be very interested in being a number 2 or number 3 if you count Butch in the equation. So perhaps next season will involve Tabby trying to lure Butch away from Fish or get him back as her number 2. But no matter what, I see the power structure in Gotham completely shifting next year because if nothing else, Tabs and Butch are going to be separated from Babs and Ed. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if nothing else, there's going to be a completely different power dynamic there.
I'm a little sad about the whole Tabby thing. Mm-hmm. I feel like her story never got to do what it could have done.
Yeah.
I feel like when she was initially brought on Thunder, it's a whole different story. Like, they had to change something because of how all of the Galavan stuff went. Mm-hmm. I wanted to see a little more from her. She's been, second banana the whole time.
Yeah, and she just dropped Silver off at the X Mansion and kept on rolling.
Right. Yeah. Like, I kind of figured she'd, I don't know, either be gone or do better. So it's really weird.
Cosmotion in the chat room says that she thinks that Butch and Tabs will both work with Fish, which...
okay. How about this? Maybe Butch goes to works for Fish. That's fine. All well and good. Tabs sort of becomes a new Zaz.
I could see that. Like the
she's
new
freelance.
Assassin. Yeah.
She freelances. She's still with Butch. Mm-hmm. So, Fish gets priority. But I think she's freelancing like Zaz.
I could totally see that.
Because that's the stuff she enjoys. She's like, can we just kill him? Can we just be done with it?
After giving her whip to Selena. Over in the chat room, Lone Wolfpack says, also that whole scene with the Riddler and Pengy in the greenhouse was entirely too sexual. Why did Ed have to circle Oswald's mouth with the gun? LOL. I just need them to deal with these feels.
I think they need to figure out the feels too.
Yeah, well, yeah, there was definitely an element of that there, and it was also a big sort of power play. Like the Riddler wanted Penguin to admit that he had the power. And I mean, sexuality always comes down to power anyway. So I mean, there were definitely those sort of hints there for sure. For sure. Fish Mooney, bitch.
Fish Mooney, bitch. Okay, so I really have not much of a statement, but I have a large series of questions. So enjoy. Where has this bitch been?
Poughkeepsie.
Okay. Is she still kind of working with Strange? Because I kind of get that maybe... whenever the court took him, they were still working together.
Well, now that Alfred's let him go, I'd say certainly they'll be meeting back up next week.
Certainly, because we can't be done with him because he's fantastic. How did she find her new cronies? Like, did she put out a Craigslist ad? Mm-hmm. Is it a Facebook group? Hi, goons for hire? Like, is this how people find things?
It was a MySpace posting because Gotham is such a place out of time.
In-betweenies.
Yeah.
Has she been following Penguin? Because she just really showed up at a very convenient time.
Yeah.
Does she still have her magical powers? And if so, doesn't that mean that Penguin should be controlled by them right now because she touched him while she was talking to him? Exactly, Lone Wolfpack. She touched him.
Well, I would assume that she still has her cuttlefish powers because Strange mentioned to Catherine, I believe, that he had fixed her. So.
Oh, okay. I think I missed the fixing. What is she going to do to him? Because I don't think she's just going to kill him. You're not well, obviously she's not killing Penguin. You can't kill Penguin.
Oh, no, I don't think she took him out of any sort of sense of revenge.
Maybe it was saving him.
Yeah, I think she's paying him back for letting her go back at the beginning of the season. You remember when...
Yes, vividly.
When he let them kind of escape out the back and everything. Mm-hmm. I think she's paying him back, and I think they're going to form... a partnership of sorts.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
Lone Wolf Paco 4 said she needs a new umbrella holder. That could be it, too.
Right now,
those things are cheap.
Nope. Let's see. And does she want to take over Gotham again, or does she have bigger plans? Because honestly, it almost feels like ruling Gotham is below her.
Possibly.
It's like more hassle than it's worth. Like, nobody gets to rule Gotham for more than 20 minutes.
She just wants to be the go-to destination for indie pop in Gotham again. That's really all she
I would
wants.
love for her just to open the club again.
She's going to do it on MySpace, which is really good for bands. So that's where she found all of her bands.
Just stop it.
Fish's MySpace page coming soon. No, but I think that are you excited to have Fish Mooney back?
Yeah, I love Fish Mooney.
Hey, how much do you think she's going to play into the finale, or do you think she's just going to be sort of an
Oh no, she's very important in the finale because there's no reason they didn't need to bring her back if she wasn't going to be pivotal. They didn't need to bring her back in such a way.
Yeah.
If she wasn't going to be pivotal, like basically Jada just needed the better part of like 2 years off for Bad Moms and Bad Moms 2 and other assorted movie projects. But now she's back. Honestly, I think it was just she had that fluidity written into her contracts.
Yeah.
And now she's going to be.
I would love to see her back as a regular season 4. I think it's been enough time that the haters have either
left or
dealt with it, so.
Yeah. Well, I think now that she has powers, it's going to make her a little bit more enticing for those who were haters. I don't know. Bobby, what do you think? Because you hate her. So, there you go.
It'll be interesting.
It will be.
So I want to talk a little bit about the Game of Throats.
Okay.
I thought it was very interesting that pretty much every member of the Court of Owls, including Catherine last week, was killed by having their throat slit. Well, it's the oldest way in the world to kill somebody, especially from behind. I think that the Gotham TV writers were trying to say something with this, too. I think, the court has operated under the assumption that they were in control of Gotham for years and years and years. If there was an entity who had a voice in Gotham, it came down to the court. So very quickly, in 2 scenes over 2 episodes, the court has lost their voice. They've had their throat slit, they've lost their voice. Their leader has ordered them killed, proving that he had the real voice in Gotham all along. And what better way to demonstrate the loss of their voice than slitting their throats? In dream interpretations, a hurt throat or an injury to the throat can also suggest a friend will betray you, much like the shaman did to the court itself. And like maybe Bruce Wayne might be doing to the shaman. And
interesting.
The head of the demon. But now that the shaman. No, the shaman is dead too. I think we're pretty much guaranteed to meet the head of the demon next week and find out what Gotham's voice really sounds like.
Interesting.
But just a little bit of synchronicity and symbolism, I think that I detected from Yale Gotham TV writers.
Yes.
So. Would you like to have your throat slit?
Nope, I'm good. I am good on
my
throat slitting.
Just checking. But you know what?
What?
Your next point.
That was a great transition.
Thank you.
Great transition. So, the walkie-talkies. If these walkie-talkies had...
If these walkie-talkies
could walkie-talkie. I saw it coming. Excuse me. So they have a 1 mile bandwidth, and they sort of figured out that he was in this park. Why were they not able to find him? Because only so far of the park is probably within that 1 mile radius.
Yeah.
I feel like we checked more of the park than we needed to. Like, they were all in a clump.
Yeah.
You need to spread out and sweep the park. Spread out. You have dogs.
Yeah, and there was a lot of like fresh moss down on the ground too. Although I think there was some on the grave itself, wasn't there? So it might have been hard to spot.
We never really saw him from above.
No, we did.
Did we?
Yeah, he was right by the water.
And there was snow. There was is it winter there?
It probably was when they were shooting.
It probably was when they were shooting. So it was like that. So they just... I feel like they were making it a lot harder on themselves. I think they're all tired. But really, did Jim even try to get out? Like, just because Lee said he was 6 feet under. Yeah. Can you see little Lee?
Well, I mean, they had that whole scene where he was like on top of the thing, and like dirt was falling down on him and stuff. Like,
but he didn't keep going.
But he made an honest attempt.
Okay, fine. Honest attempt.
He made it because I would assume that keeping going with that too long and having those boards break, that would be
bad.
Danger zone.
Yeah. Which is curious as to how the virus makes that work.
Coscomotion says, was that where Mario was shot? It might have been. No, because
that was out.
Yeah,
that was
way
out at
on
like
a
the
lake.
vacation house.
Yeah, that was at the Falcone vacation home. It did remind me quite a bit, a lot of where Ed buried Kringle, though. So it might.
But I don't think that was that because that was out in the woods.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying necessarily it might have been the same setting or something, but it might have been the same area.
The actual same set.
Yeah. But it was and I know they suggested. I think Jim suggested tracing the shortwave radio waves to Harvey, but obviously nothing much came of that. Maybe if Lucius had been around.
Well, Lucius is the one who figured out that it was what park he was.
Oh, did
they
he?
did talk to him. They said, "Let's go see if Lucius can figure this out." So let's go see what this guy who's not on set can do. Like,
sorry, I was a bit distracted by Campos.
Oh, what's Campos?
No, who is Campos?
Who is Campos?
Campos may be the most important character coming to Gotham season 4.
You think?
Made her first speaking role appearance, as far as I know, this episode. Okay, so I noticed this. It kind of stuck out to me like a sore thumb. I'm showing her on the screen right now.
Hello, Campos.
Jim and Harvey are aided several times by a mysterious new female police officer played by Flora Diaz. Officer Campos is the name, and she jumps in to help. Push the plot along, much like Alvarez usually does. Like, I'll get that for you, Jim.
He did.
Oh, did Alvarez?
He's the one who answered the phone and said the Jim had gotten out that he was infected with the virus.
But he wasn't there for the parts of the episode that Campos were in. So I can see two reasons why she finally had a speaking line this episode. One, Alvarez wasn't available for shooting, so they brought in Flora Diaz to cover the lines.
Right.
And obviously she's been sort of a regular GCPD member for a while, so maybe she was just around and they were like, okay, get in there, kid. Now's your chance. And this is the most likely option, which makes me not trust it even a little bit.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that most likely Jim won't have a love interest in Lee after this season wraps up. So perhaps this Campos person, who has apparently appeared in several episodes this season, might become that for Jim in future seasons. Perhaps this was her audition to see if she has any on-screen chemistry with Ben McKenzie, a.k.a. Jim. But she'd probably end up being a lot cheaper than Deadpool's
Lee Tompkins.
Lee Tompkins, too.
I'm sure she is a lot cheaper. Wonder how Morena would feel about that, seeing as to how they got together in reality.
Very true. Very true.
Just saying.
But again, I'm probably wrong. But
Fingers
it's
crossed.
nice to see that Alvarez isn't the only GCPD member who can speak.
That's true.
Which was very nice to see. Mm-hmm. And Cost Commotion over in the chat room says it's storming where she is too. Well, that's because we live in the same town.
You're a couple miles away. Okay.
Okay, so you want to end with
where did Penguin's army of freaks go? Okay, first of all, it was only 2 freaks. Unless you count Ivy, and she's kind of a freak.
Yeah, really not much
but I
of
don't
an
count
army.
Her.
Really
not much of an army. But, you know, she did promise that Selena would help them get the rest of the army. Unfortunately, the rest of the army is fish. You're not getting that. Well, kind of, actually. Maybe. My whole point is almost moot now. Because I had a moment.
I love moot points. Go on.
Do you then?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll go through the point and we'll change it as we go. So it was only 2 episodes ago that Firefly was helping him, and now she's just gone. Victor on the other hand, seemed to disappear as quickly as he had re-arrived. They got him, there was jokes made, and then he's gone again. This can't be the only appearance because they went through all the effort to recast Firefly. So that seems a little bit silly. So the army of freaks, it was Selena who promised that she would help Ivy said she would get Selena to help them get the rest of the freaks.
Uh-huh.
Well, now, and like I said, the other freaks would be Fish, and Fish just came and got Penguin.
Yeah.
So maybe
Selena told Bridget to tell Fish to come get Penguin and save him from Ed because of the thing and the stuff in the junk and whatnot.
But they didn't save Ivy, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they just kind of left Ivy there.
I know, and Ivy's just like...
Well, to be fair...
She's like 16.
Ivy's kind of an idiot sometimes.
She is an idiot. But she's a well-meaning idiot. She's just a teenager. Like
the one thing I thought was like, why wait until now to tell Penguin that when you guys have obviously been sitting there for a while? He's been brooding, you've been planting,
Yeah.
Lone Wolf Pack in the chat room thinks that Kat is going to come get Ivy.
Oh, absolutely, because that whole other group doesn't want anything to do with Ivy. They barely know who Ivy is. They just know she's like a connection to Kat. So, I mean, they're not going to care. They're just going to leave unless they want some plants. They might, but I don't think there's a really good black market for plants of that sort.
Not yet.
Not of
yet.
that sort.
Once Poison Ivy has her way, there will be. I'll tell you that
Very
much.
true.
Okay, so now has come the time for us to rate the episode using an arbitrary scale that I just came up with just now. I hope I spelled it right. I'm going to put it in the chat room, too, so you guys need to weigh in. Okay, Anne-Marie, out of 174 filleted throats, how many filleted throats do you give this episode? That's one for every member of the Court of Owls.
It is. That's a really big court.
Well, they have controlled Gotham for years and years and years.
That's true. I'm going to give it 138.
In chat room, you can pretend I spelled filleted right, even if I didn't. Filet-o throat.
Filet-o throat. Yeah, 138. 138. It was good. You know, Fish came back. That's like 38 there. But it was stickier than I had wanted. It was more gluey. I thought we were going to get like I just don't feel like the action sequences were a big action sequence. I think they spoiled us on the 3 Jerome episode arc.
Yeah.
I think their whole budget went there.
Well,
But
I think another thing that might be working against this episode is the psychology of television seasons, in that
we know that it's almost the end and it has to be something big.
We're primed for the episode before the finale, but it's a 2-hour finale, so it's actually 2 episodes before the finale. So you expect the episode before the finale, you expect a couple big balls to drop, and the balls didn't really drop.
The balls did not drop.
No balls dropping.
No ball droppage.
Okay, so let's see over in the chat room. Bobby Hawk gives it 123 filleted throats. Custom Motion gives it 200 filleted throats. Mm-hmm. And let's see, as for me, that's way more than 173. Mm-hmm. 200 is. Science. Okay, I'm going to give it 150 filleted throats because, like you said, felt very gluey. Mm-hmm. I really love the whole Lee burying Jim Gordon alive, and he has the virus. Will he shoot up? Will he not shoot up? All that kind of stuff. Really compelling television. By the same token, I'm really anxious to see the end of all these plot lines that have been brewing all season.
That's the thing. There's so many plot lines.
Yeah.
So many plot lines. Like, I almost feel like there's like 1 or 2 too many.
Possibly.
And that could be why, is we're not getting as much dedicated time to any of them. But then we complain because we don't know what's happening with this plot line. I would like to have my cake and eat it too.
And Cos Commotion in the chat room, and we agree. We love it. Definitely. Lone Wolf Pack gives it 170 filleted throats with a few bones left in. I enjoyed the twists and turns. I am hyped for the 2-hour finale. There are so many plots up in the air right now. Curious to see how it's wrapped up.
And Bobby says they're singing soprano.
Singing soprano.
Nice.
Soprano. Okay, well, I guess that about wraps it up for our discussion of this week's episode. Now, on to the news. News. First up, the ratings. Gotham posted a 0.9.
There was a lot of stuff going on, so TV by the numbers couldn't be bothered for more than that sentence about Gotham.
Well, there was a lot of stuff going on, too. It was a holiday.
It was a holiday,
have our Gotham
and
Monday
there was some hockey going on. Yeah. Let's go, Penguins.
And as Bobby repeats in the chat room, no balls dropped.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I got the joke.
But I'm about to drop a ball right now, and that ball is the preview for next week's 2-part season finale.
Bop.
So let's go ahead and watch this here. Fox
Okey-dokey.
Monday. There's a train with
Toot,
smoke.
toot.
Bunch of stuff
flashlights.
In this episode. Yeah, flashbacks.
This isn't flashbacks.
Alfred talking to
Bruce.
Some
a wall.
wall.
Fish.
Catwoman.
Hey, and that was the
Army of
freaks.
With Fish.
People are being thrown.
Train fight. Kissing.
Lots of villains. Lots of kissing.
Cat with a whip. And Bruce standing on the side of a building, which is way too high up for a kid to be at. There's a ball that dropped for you, Bobby Hawk.
Dropping the balls. Dropping the balls.
And Ben McKenzie telling us to subscribe. No Ben McKenzie.
No Ben McKenzie.
I already am.
Done.
Okay, so like we mentioned earlier, you're going to have an extra day to get your feedback for the 2-part season finale since it's double length, so we're going to need time to watch it, right? But to get that feedback in, just walk very leisurely over to your telephone computational device. Email us legendsofgotham@gmail.com. Tweet us at Legends of Gotham. Facebook, facebook.com/groups/Legends of Gotham. And the voicemail number is 424-274-2352. Again, that's 424-274-2352. Take it away, Bobby.
Hey guys, it's Bobby.
Hey.
All right, so once again, we're setting the table for Gotham's finale. It feels like we're just drawing this thing out at this point. Now we're just like picking out the right salad forks and making sure they're on the right side of the table. And it's like we go, okay, we got 3 storylines converging into the finale, right? Jim and Leslie and the Tetch virus. I was really hoping we were done with the Tetch virus at this point. Obviously, we're not. As far as the virus itself goes, it's like just taking on whatever form the writers need it to. They're not playing by any rules that they have set up earlier in the season. They even mention it in this episode where they say, wait a second, it'll take a while for the virus to take effect. Well, apparently not anymore. And then as far as like what it actually does to people, it just seems like it just brings out their emotions. I don't know. Just that's. To be honest with you, I am ready for this storyline to be over. I was ready for it to be over before it began. The one redeeming part of the storyline for me was when Bullock finally recognized Alfred's usefulness and asked him to get involved. Taking out or finding what was left of the Court of Owls. As far as the Court of Owls goes with Bruce and the shaman, still not quite sure exactly who the shaman is. It's obvious that he's working with Raja Ghul or for Raja Ghul and using the Court of Owls as a tool. And what happened in the beginning of this episode, like for Bruce to be present for that, I don't know how I like how that played out. I mean, obviously he didn't.
Might as well call him Bloodlust Twain.
Pull the trigger. Just like Alfred didn't let him pull the trigger later. But I mean, it still leaves quite a few questions for me. I don't understand why the Waynes were so important to Shaman or Raja Ghul. I don't understand any of this. I don't know, questions. Hopefully that will be answered in the finale.
I do think that the shaman was fake being upset about the Waynes dying. I think it's all going
completely.
according to plan.
Many thought that it would be Alfred that would finally break Bruce, but obviously we saw that didn't happen. So I'm guessing that it will be Selena in the finale that finally brings Bruce back around. Mm-hmm. There are a few glaring things that happened during this part of the episode. As far as the shaman trying to make Bruce use Bruce's emotions against him to force him to pull that trigger in the beginning of the episode. Didn't you just spend the last few weeks robbing him of all of his emotions so that nothing like what you were just trying to do could be done?
Yes.
Well, I think they were just like, those were the bad mommy and daddy are dead emotions.
Isn't that all the emotions the man has?
They're the most powerful, but I don't know if they're all of them.
So, like, once again, another part of this episode just totally playing against itself. And then just a total thing that's not connected at all to what's going on as far as Oswald Enigma. And to be honest with you, it's my favorite part of what's going on so far. With a few exceptions. Okay, so Oswald, Enigma makes mention to Oswald's army of freaks. We've only seen Firefly and Mr. Freeze, so I really don't see how that constitutes as an army. If anything, it's a moot point now anyway, because we've got thousands of infected people with this virus, and at this point, we don't know what it does anyway. So many things that I did not like about this episode, guys. Quite honestly. All right, I'm really hoping the finale works out well. So there's probably a dozen people in the Court of Owls in the beginning that their throats were slit. So for my arbitrary scale, I'm going to give it 12, 8 pints, 96 pints of
beer on the wall,
Court of Owls blood. So out of 96 pints, I'm going to give it like I don't know, 63. I'll give it a 63. This thing was pretty low for me, guys. I really was looking for more. I mean, I've enjoyed the last few episodes, but at this point, I feel like they're kind of turning their wheels, and this better be one hell of a finale.
Oh,
right?
it will be.
It really needs to be.
Which, by the way, Bobby Hawk clarified in the chat room. He says, which is exactly what he was saying, Bill. You knelt in your parents' blood. Yeah, sorry. I'm an idiot. Thanks, Bobby.
Sometimes, yep.
Okay, Scott Boswell over on YouTube said, congratulations on episode 100. You have a very fun podcast and will be missed if you go. Yeah, we're probably going.
Well, you keep talking about your mini things, so that's
the many things will happen. That's a guarantee. That's a guarantee. Guaranteed. Next up is somebody.
Hey, Billy, I'm Marie. This is John Goldman. I've been trying to get a hold of you guys for a while now. I heard about your show, Legends of Gotham. It's a great thing. A friend of a friend told me about it. I've been binge watching it for the last 48 hours, just me, your show, some Red Bull, some coffee, just going at it. And the show that you're covering, Gotham, oh man, it's awesome. I wish I could have got on the ground floor on that one, but hey, he's really early bird doesn't catch every worm, but you gotta let that go. This last episode they've been having, what do they have? They got this penguin guy, this gorilla guy, they're going at one another, they got guns kind of pointing at each other, and all of a sudden you got this polychromatic eye girl, what's her name, Fish? She's coming out of nowhere, she's going to take the guys away, the penguin guy away, and all of a sudden they leave the other guys in the back. I don't.
To be clear, this character, this person calling in is saying that they're to the Gotham game late, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Know who's representing them, but they need to call me. And then you got a billionaire kid, I don't know, he's brainwashed or something, some Bruce Wayne guy. He's going to try and blow up all the city and stuff. And apparently there was some kind of a clone of him or something there. He was there for a minute, and on the next, I don't know what happened to him. He was like that folk singer guy. What was his name? Johnny? Big shot one minute, and then gone the next. He needs to fire his agent. I'll get him back on track. And then what else you got? You got a butler there. He's going to hang people over a building and stuff. I don't know what's going on. He's trying to get his money back, I guess. He needs to call me. I got a cousin. He works for small claims. You don't get everybody some money back that he needs. He doesn't need to go those drastic measures. And then you got a pest virus. It's getting to everybody, everyone in the city. We need the merchandise on that. We can put it in cereal boxes. We can give the kids. They could be helping the parents out, hold the house up. They could do the plumbing for half the cost. The sky's the limit, Who knows what's going on with that show? But then come on,
this dude is a Gilmore.
Show. You guys, I know you guys got bigger and better things going on, but you need to get a hold of me, okay? I'm going to get you guys some stock markets. We can get book deals.
He just promised us a book deal.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Hey, we can do merchandising too. You might get t-shirts, baseball caps, we can get eye patches.
tried.
I'm sure there's one of guys that watch the show all the time. We can do the whole handicap market. We can get crutches that got Legends of Gotham right on the handle. The sky's the limit, guys. Anyway, I'm going to send you guys a contract to you, okay? I'm going to email it to you, fax it to you. I'm going to teleport it to you. I know a guy in China. He can do all that stuff, okay? There's no big deal. Sky's the limit, okay?
Sky's the limit, okay?
Have him contact our agent over at Fake Creative Agency LLC.
Now, you look that contract over. You don't have to study it too hard. It's not the SATs here, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Get right on the dotted line. You get it back to me. We're going to work all the kinks out, okay? I love you guys. You call me back at the office. We're going to work it out. You only start with giving me 6% or 20% that we're going to work out in the office.
6% or 20%. Either
one or the other.
Okay? Call me 555 7889, okay?
You didn't think this one ahead, did you?
Or 555 PUTZ. It's very easy. You don't need a pen, okay? I love you guys. Don't you change. Unless you want to change your names, that's okay, okay? We can think about Bobby and Margaret, whatever you want to do. I love you guys.
And Margaret?
Don't you change, okay? Call me.
This has been Bobby Fleeks and Margaret.
And Margaret, I don't know. I wasn't. I was never good at improv.
If you think you could possibly top that voicemail next week, we want to hear from you before Wednesday. 424-274-2352 is the voicemail number. Our Facebook is facebook.com/groups/Legends of Gotham. The Twitter's at Legends of Gotham. And the email is legendsofgotham@gmail.com. Again, that's legendsofgotham@gmail.com. We've had a great time with people over there.
This has been a thing.
I need to talk really fast now because of that guy.
I know. I didn't have coffee tonight.
No, but it's been a fun time with our chatters over at twitch.tv/universebox. You can join us there next Wednesday.
Wednesday.
For our last long-form episode of Legends of Gotham.
Wah, wah, wah.
It'll be good. Anne-Marie, where can people find you online?
For now, you can find me on Twitter
Sorry. Anne-Margaret, where can people find you online?
For now, you can find me on Twitter at DeSimone. But I have, things coming down the pike, so keep an eye out.
As for me, you can follow me on Twitter at Bill Meeks. You can follow all of the stuff we do over at universebox.com. And you really can't follow up that voicemail because that voicemail is just basically pure perfection. In fact, I think we're going to have to shut the show down until next week to kind of recover from it. So join us next time for more
Legends of Gotham.
Drop ball 1. Drop ball 2. Very nice. Okay, guys, don't go anywhere. We have a couple voice titles, episode titles to go over here and choose from. Okay, so we have. Oh, it scrolled up to quack.
Quack.
Okay, let's see. We have Tainted Love, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Stop in the Name of Alfred, Game of Throats, Your Gym in a Box, Game of Thrones, or Game of Throats. I think that was.
You already said that.
Fish's MySpace page, Moot Points, and Ball Drop. So, Anne Marie, what do you vote?
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I like that one.
It's because you came up with it.
Well, I did, actually. I'm going to vote for one you came up with then. Or one that you helped me come up with. Your Gym in a Box. Okay, so now we have to wait. And I think a lot of people left already. One for Tainted Love. So we have a 3-way tie at the moment. Game of Ball Drops. That wasn't an option, Lone Wolf Pack.
I like Lone Wolf, man.
She is.
It's very Lone Wolfy. Burr, 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 burr.
Game of Ball Drops might be a little too much on top of each other, so we have a 3-way tie, right?
Okay.
And then
Ball Drops.
So we have a 4-way tie here. So let's see. In the order they came in, I'm going to pick a random number here. Okay, so
Pick a number between 1 and 4. 1 and 4.
what did I vote for?
Gym in a Box.
Gym in a Box? Okay, it's going to be Your Gym in a Box unless we decide to go with Ball Drop.
Which might happen off air. Okay, bye.
Bye.